1031 is also U.S. property for U.S. property, with a couple exceptions. Those exceptions being the U.S. territories of Guam, American Samoa, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. You can sell property in the U.S. and buy property in St. Thomas and do a 1031 exchange. You cannot sell property in Mississippi and buy in the Dominican Republic or Costa Rica. Now, everybody always wants to ask, but Dave, what about Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico is some strange kind of animal. The way that they set up the Commonwealth and the treaty with the United States, that it does not qualify for 1031 treatment. However, if you're a U.S. investor and you invest in Puerto Rico, you can sell in Puerto Rico and buy in Puerto Rico. You can sell foreign real estate and buy other foreign real estate using the 1031 exchange. But if the property is in the United States, you must replace that with other property in the United States or Guam, American Samoa, or the U.S. Virgin Islands. So, as a general rule of thumb, rental property is always an investment. You're buying it to hold because you want to produce the income from the rent. Raw land is always an investment because you are buying raw land, not because you're getting a steal on it today and you can turn around and sell it for more money, but because you're buying the raw land because it's going to appreciate over time. That's always going to be an investment. What if the raw land appreciates much more quickly than you think? Well, it's going to be up to you and your accountant to decide. What was my intent when I bought it? Let's take a look at an example. A farmer who buys a tract of land. We actually had a guy like this. And 3 months later, he sold it for 10 times what he bought it for. Now, he bought the land at an auction. Did he know it was going to be worth that much more immediately? And so he bought it primarily to resell it? That would make him a flipper and not eligible for 1031. But what if I told you that he never put it on the open market? That someone walked along and solicited him and said, would you please sell this land to me? That makes it more defendable, doesn't it? That he intended to hold on to it. What if I tell you that he had already planted a crop? Why did he buy that land? He bought it to hold for productive use. So it would be perfectly appropriate for him to do a 1031 exchange, even though he hadn't owned it for very long. By the way, the rest of that story, as Paul Harvey would say, was that it was an oil company who needed a pipeline hub right there on his land. I'd like to be that lucky, right? So let's take a look at Bill and Jane. Just to kind of sum all this up, Bill and Jane own a duplex that they bought a while back. They want to sell that now and go buy a vacation condo at the beach. They're going to use it a little bit, but they also want to rent it out. Can they do a 1031 exchange? Absolutely. It's rental property. They intend to hold it. Personal use does not disqualify it.